Welcome back. This is M-Dog. We are here at Amber. Try a little 83 145 fishing. See how it goes. Get this thing started off right with the carrots. And let's go get set up and get a little bit of fishing in. So it's 8:22 in the morning. Literally the worst time to start carp fishing, in the sense that we have missed out on the prime time carp fishing of the early morning hours. But if we stay here long enough, we'll get them on the next day. But let's see how this goes. Happy to report that folks have caught some red starvis trophies here today and this week. And it has happened both on this setup, which is the 16 and 15 Amino Krill combination. So let's look for our Amino Krill PVA. So that's one setup it's been done on. And let's see here. We're just going to cast all of these right at peg 1. And then the other setup it's been done on is the Amino 22 Krill 20. And I'm actually going to change this to Amino 24. So we're going to really lean into the larger fish on that middle rod. Amino Krill 35 clip. So this means that in all likelihood, our middle rod will be the slowest rod. If that's not the case, then I'll be surprised. And then on the third setup, we are also going to use the Amino 16-15 Krill combination. So just like the first rod, this one should be more active than the middle rod. Now, I will show you the PVA in just a second. But I believe, I should point out that I think the other combination that folks have been using lately is actually Amino and tuna. I think as the week has gone on, or as time has gone on, the Amino Krill thing has become more of a thing. But if I'm not mistaken, a lot of folks have been doing really well in recent days, maybe last couple weeks, on Amino and tuna. So let's see how this goes for us at 83 145 here in E4, aiming at peg 1. It's a very well-known carp spot, either here or across at peg 1, facing in this direction, which are two different spots, by the way. I mean, we're not even casting here 35 meters. We're actually probably sitting right in this alcove before it gets deeper. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't looked at the one of those maps that show you that in a while, but I think that's the case. And then likewise from peg 1, you might be sitting just inside here or just outside, I'm not sure. So these are different spots, but both of these spots tend to be amongst the best here at Amber. And one reason why this spot is nice is if you don't have, let's say you've just gotten to Amber, you're still using the Fortuna carp rods and the Caliber HSVs, this is actually a really good spot because you can often force the carp to turn left from at least the direction we're facing now, which means that they sort of get trapped and they can't spool you. So that's always a nice thing. And remember, if you want to force them to turn left, it might be worth putting your rod down in the opposite direction you want them to go. Or once you have a fish on, you can also sort of walk and get ahead of the fish. The fish will often move in the opposite direction that you are moving towards. So if you start getting ahead of it, moving to the right from where I stand, then it's more likely to swim towards the left from where I stand. So yeah, first two fish on the two rods that we would expect, the left and rightmost rod. By the way, trophy, at least according to VK, trophy caught by someone who did not have PVA here. They spotted the water, fed the water with spod rod and rocket, and still got the trophy, rare trophy. So just because you don't have PVA might not be a reason to miss out on this one. I especially like spots that are doing well off of the smaller size boilies, in particular for players who don't yet have PVA. That is a great combination typically, so that you aren't waiting forever for your bites. But at the end of the day, you do want to feed the water one way or another, whether it's ground bait, shooting boilies in, shooting ground bait in, shooting pellets in. Of course, if you have the ability to mix up the PVA mix as a what do they call it? As a dry mix, and then putting that in your rocket on your spod rod, then that's probably the next best thing until you actually get PVA unlocked. So hopefully we will have a nice bite rate. We'll see what it's like throughout the day though. If I had a little extra of this, let's see, what would be the easiest way to look at this? Go to our spod rod, which is probably here at the bottom. Open that up, pull this up. All right. If I had something that was very close, krill and salmon, I would be tempted to feed the water here. Is that close enough, krill and salmon? I think it is. And we may just feed it one time, but anything to help us jumpstart. We're definitely not fishing here over an hour, so I'm not too concerned about overfeeding. And if we had that middle rod set up with the smaller boilies, that would help bite rate. Just kind of keep that in mind, that we are handicapping our bite rate just a small amount to take a chance on catching a larger fish, but we'll see if we even get a single fish on that third rod this whole time. Ooh, linear carp, okay. All right. can't remember what the Cobra puts on it. Oh yeah, boily's good. Okay. So what if we put Amino? No, we should do ocean krill, shouldn't we? Actually might do the small ones. All right, and then I can do this casting distance 35. Okay. Well, we've done the things. I mean, I don't know. What are we at? Three fish. Common, common, linear. This should, it might be a little painful here in the afternoon, but it hopefully will pick up in the late afternoon. I don't know what the evening will be like. Depends on if there's any mirrors at all. Hopefully there are. And then again, first thing in the morning is when you hope to get the best fish, or when you expect to get your best fish in a carp situation. So will it be a mirror or another linear? All right, so now we've seen linear and mirror. Linear has the straight line of scales down the middle. Mirror's got the more what seems to be random placement of scales. And it's basically what you're seeing right now is as if we were fishing with two lines. I think that's going to be another mirror. Could be wrong though. Yeah. Two mirrors in a row, similar size. We will take it. This looks like a linear. So we're about 50-50 on linear and mirror right now. That's a little nicer one, 7.2. Okay. Yeah, bite rate's really nice on the first and third line. This might be a gibble or crucian. Nope, unfortunately it's just a really tiny carp. But it's that time of day, and this size bait will sometimes do that. Definitely a candidate for turning it into pieces of fish. Ooh, that sounds interesting. It's going to be our biggest fish of the day. Yeah, it's definitely bigger than 7.2. This is maybe more like 12, 13. I don't know. It's a decent carp. If we're catching them this big on this size boilie, definitely no reason to have what we have on the middle rod on there. That middle setup is more like you're doing something else, but just like every once in a while want to get distracted with a big carp or something. Every hour or so. Is that a common? Oh, I didn't see a lot of color. I was thinking it might have been green in there. Yeah, that's a common. We'll take a healthy common. Ooh, almost 18 kilo common. That is awesome. Nice carp. And just in time, we're getting a bite on rod 1. Much smaller bite, but that's okay. Another small mirror, I think. Yep, just barely a marker. Okay, a little bigger. So it's 4 in the afternoon. And another mirror. Nice one, 10.6. I'm easily distractible, so I just need a little bit of an audio cue. Something starts to happen. Especially during this next stretch. Once we get to overnight, it could be a little slow. Ooh, nice scoop there. The real reason we're still scooping is for the, what are they called? The diving beetles. We're down to 32 of those, so scooping for diving beetles. Normally I would say digging is just so much more valuable in the long run, but for that one bait, I don't mind putting a little time in. We went through a bunch of diving beetles. I think I gave a bunch away and just used some myself when we were doing the New Year's holiday challenges or whatever. Christmas I think they're called New Year's, right? They're actually after Christmas. Okay, this looks like another common. So we've had two healthy commons in a row on this far right one, which is the same exact setup as the far left one, by the way. This one's not 18, but it's another healthy one. 13.9. Oops. Audio cues. Yeah, it's kind of working perfect. I mean, imagine how hard we'd have to be working if we were actually catching fish on all three lines. Like, just having two is sort of perfect. It's just about right. This is our 12th fish. And this looks like a micro common, baby juvenile common, barely a marker. 3 kilo maybe? Nope, not even, 2.3. That might just be a really small fish. No, it's actually not on yet, I think. Oh, we're actually getting a nibble on the middle rod. Okay, so I'm at least going to back off from the largest size amino back down to the sort of normal large aminos. I think we're on 24s. We'll go down to the 22s or whatever they are. Because this obviously took a long time, and it's, you know, nothing special. So we have a fish on all three rods right now, by the way. Also looks like a common. We have settled into the common carp at this point. After a few linear and mirror carp, looks like commons is where it's at right now. Another nice one though. That's a little barbel, I think. Love to see the barbel active. Yes, it's a nice barbel. 6 kilos, wow. That's actually very cool. Smallish mirror carp, but still a marker. So mirror carp are here. We, I guess, answered that, which means that maybe overnight won't be a complete snooze fest. Already catching a second fish on that middle rod, which that's very good to see. 2.6 common. I don't think I ever showed you what's on the PVA, did I? I think this is only is it the third fish on the middle rod? But we changed the bait to be at least a little bit more active. And we are up to 18 total fish caught, one of them a non-marker. Oh, wow. This is so unusual for me. I mean, it has happened, I bet, less than 5 times. And I've put so many hours here to catch a catfish at amber. I mean, we are using fishy bait, which probably increases your chance. I mean, does increase your chance a little bit, I would say, over like fruit something. But still, like, I just don't see it. And it's nighttime. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen at nighttime. But still, unusual for me, at least. But we don't often, like, you know, fish in the deeper holes. We don't fish with, not that catfish won't go for boilies. Obviously they will. But there are baits we could use that would increase the chance of catfish even more. It's just not something you target at amber. And I almost never see them. So we're at 35 minutes. We've got nibbles on at least the first and third rod right now. That third rod, that fish might have decided it was not interested. It's a linear, but it's very small. Hope the overnight stays this active. I mean, for a carp spot, all things considered, this has been a very nice bite rate. And again, we would have been, at times at least, we would have been very hard pressed to keep up with it if all three were this as active as the first and third had been. I did put the size 10 feed pellets and the 12 feed pellets for Amino and Krill. So those are large pellet sizes, which should move your RNG numbers just slightly towards a little bit larger fish, but also possibly slightly towards impacting the bite rate. But the crushed boilies are a small particle. Overall, we're embracing, even the size of the PVA, the small bags, we're embracing trying to get a really active bite rate here. 3:24. A lot of times it's 4 a.m. when you start to feel like the carp are waking up again, but this one's coming in a little early. Let's see if it's an early common or maybe a mirror carp, which can still be somewhat active overnight in my experience. This looks like a common. It's upside down, hard to tell. I think it's a common. It is indeed. Very small mirror, I think. Two fish in a row on the same rod. Let's see, what are we hoping here? I don't know, it's in that weird size. You don't want it to be a traditional carp though. Either a small carp or $1.9 kilos. I guess at that size, yeah, like a huge crucian or gibble would have been best case, although a barbel would have been a little better, I think. All right, we have almost made it through. We've got about 13 minutes left to the hour mark, and it's these next few minutes though that we hope a little bit larger average of fish will come in. We did have a couple of pretty nice sized commons. I guess a 10, anything over 10 is pretty good, especially with the bait size we're using. But that's 3 fish. We would love to get 5 over 10 as a total. That would make for a really upgraded hour if we could end up there. I've lost count, but only the probably fourth or fifth fish on this middle rod. Out of 26, so definitely significantly lower. And if you look at the size of the fish we've caught on this middle rod, despite having larger bait, now we don't have a larger hook on, and that's sort of the next step you could take if you're really trying to sit on trophies, but really has not been worthwhile. If we were doing this again, I would definitely put the smaller size baits on all 3 rods. Was this one of the 3 new species they added? I guess it was. I did not remember that name at all. I mean, I thought someone had just like accidentally caught a fish from like a test server or something when I saw Mongolian redfin pop up. Maybe that's because in my stream yesterday, was it? Someone was saying that they were predicting the next map would be somewhere like around Japan or somewhere over in Asia. But anyway, I guess that was one of the 3. I forgot that was, I kind of remember the other 2. The like Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever it was called, and well, now that I've put myself on the spot, I don't know that I'll pick up the name of the 3rd one off the top of my head, but I would have recognized the other 2 names, I guess is what I'm saying. This is a nice sized fish, but hey, it's 7 in the morning. This is what you expect. It's what you hope for, the size of the fish going up just a little bit. Would like to get this in pretty quickly though, just because would love to get these baits right back in the water before 8 a.m. Maybe have a chance at getting one more. This is going to be a decent fish though, so I don't want to mess it up. It's not the largest fish we've caught, but it's up there in that top 3 for sure. I guess it's mirror. So we've had 2 pretty good sized mirrors. Definitely mirror. 15 kilos. All right, get that back out there. 739. We at least have a chance, I guess. So, I mean, you know, 30 carp in an hour. That is a nice average. You are not complaining about 30 carp in an hour, although the weight is not the best. Not the worst either, but not the best. But overall, I would say this has been a really good hour of fishing for carp. We haven't seen a trophy, we haven't seen a rare. And some hours that you spend here with this bait setup, you would see trophy and you would see rare, but you can't count on them. Okay. This could be our last fish. It's been a nice balance, a nice mix of primarily mirrors and commons, but some linears mixed in and barbel as well. Can't really complain about the variety. The variety has been good. Okay, let's relog and see how we did. I think we are at an hour, right? Yeah, not quite, but we're getting close enough. 1 sec, I'll be right back. All right. Oh, somehow I did it wrong. I glanced at the cafe. I'm not sure that we really did anything at the cafe, but we'll double check. It's kind of nice to see for information kind of what, yeah, weird orders. We will definitely take this though. 46 on the one common. So it was kind of good to see what somebody can make. This would be your like floor, right? You're at least going to make this much in an hour in that spot, I would say. So 325, not bad at all. About 370 with the cafe order, or maybe 345 or so. No, it'd be more than that, 350 or so without the cafe order. So either way, nice. Look at that barbel. I mean, you're creeping up on trophy size there, so that kind of makes sense. But even that catfish. All right, so not a bad hour of fishing. We'll take it for sure. Yeah, hope you're having some good success at Amber these days. I understand that between the tuna and the krill combo with Amino, some folks have caught some really nice fish. And Anyway, wish you the best. Tight lines, thanks for the support. I will see you next time.